Boardroom, Chapter 17, Part B, 3998 BC, Preparations. Sure, the two brothers hugged and Gabe exited the room, heading back to his side of the battle line. A few tears came to his eyes, but he shook them out. He was the leader and could not show any sign of weakness. He missed his best friend terribly, but both knew there was no turning back. Bells not only needed to save face, but was confident his side would prevail and take over the universe, despite the 2-to-1 superiority of the opposing force. As its commanding general, Gabe was not so sure Bells and his army would eventually overwhelm his own army, but Gabe was committed to do everything in his power to win. He liked life as it had been and realized even more that order was important and in fact essential to preserve a happy and serene way of life. Each time he went down to communicate with his buddies on the other side, he saw how angry and jaded they were becoming. He vowed every time he went to visit that he would do all in his considerable power to win this war and regain the happiness of the paradise they all had lost. Gabriel sensed the gathering storm and realized things were coming to a boil. Pops had instructed him only to defend any attack. He would not allow Gabe and his army to take the initiative. Oh, there were a few skirmishes here and there as little companies of angels would get into it, but nothing major ever materialized. Gabe knew with each passing day that the rebel force was becoming more organized. Even Junior thought it a good idea to attack and wipe them out, but Pops would have none of it. So Gabe kept preparing, drilling, and fortifying his positions. When Bells got back to camp headquarters, he walked in on Jesse, Luke, Ad, and Nap in a heated discussion. I had him. That little war busted it up. Did you see the desire in his eyes? He wanted me from the get-go. As soon as I got him to look, he was mine. Why didn't you go right at him? Ad said. Just blitz him. I did. He was that little, Jez sneered. No dice, Bells interrupted. No luck, Bells? Nap said. No, he won't budge. Well, I guess it's up to you, Luke, Nap said. What are you going to do, Luke? Jesse asked. Yeah, how are you going to play it? Ed said. I think probably another woman, maybe a sort of copy of Eve. Will keep Adam occupied. I think the woman is the weaker of the two, Luke said. He wasn't very talkative these days, but all listened and all knew he would be the one to try the third time. You're wrong. Adam will break. The power of women, you know, is the strongest power, Jez said. No, no, Bill said. It's the need for things, all things, to have everything, and we're going to get it all back, you know. And more. He slammed his fist down on the table. Nap, is Adam or Eve more than a one? No, no. I've studied them both extensively. Nowhere on the tapes do they demonstrate the capability of more than one train of thought at a time. Pops must have given them only a single-mode processor, Nap said. Luke stared up at the ceiling and massaged his chin. And we're all eights in here. Well, Knapp replied, a tinge of haughtiness in his voice. I've gotten to a 9 a few times. Takes a little practice. Only can do it for a few seconds. The others in the room stared at him with a look of skepticism. Well, yes, in answer to your question, we are all, in effect, eights. Luke nodded in agreement. Then our odds of winning a mind game over either should be 8-to-1, Luke said. Your point? Ad asked. We lost the first two, so there is no way we can lose again, baby, Jez said, putting her arms around his neck. But what, babe? Jez said. But why do we lose not once but twice? 2 straight. How could it have happened? Your performance was spectacular, and Pop swears he didn't intervene. We're missing something here, angels. What is it? Let's see. 1/8 times 1/8 equals 1/64. And 1/8 times 1/64 equals, Knapp was calculating, 1/512th. Jez's mind was quicker than her friend, or so she thought. So if Pops has been fair and keeps it that way. And we know he's honest as the day is long, Knapp said. And with our next and last one-on-one chance with these guys, we should win 511 of the next 512 chances, Luke surmised. As he flapped his black wings in the air in frustration, another angel flew in, landing ever so lightly on the doorstep of the huge but sparsely furnished boardroom. He tiptoed over the table. The angel stood at attention and saluted, wing extended forward. Ed stood and returned the salute. Sir, sorry to interrupt, but preparations are almost complete. We just need to know where to put Goliath's company. Confounded angel, can't you see we're busy here? Bells snapped, still miffed at his failure of 2 days ago. Ed motioned the colonel over to one corner and said, put him to the far right of Caesar's division. Keep Caesar on the left. Yes, sir. Are his weapons completed? Sir? His weapons, man. The remote-guided nuclear-tipped lasers, Napoleon chimed in. Yes, sir. That will be all, Colonel Ed saluted, and Colonel Saul exited. They better be ready. Looks like things are coming to a head, Knapp speculated. I can hardly wait to slaughter those evil angels and get my life back, Bells said. I so miss my estate on the ocean, Jez said. Bells, honey, will you and Luke visit me when we get back? Bells pulled away from her and went and sat down by Luke. Buddy, you gotta do this, he said. Even if it doesn't succeed tomorrow, you don't think Pops will keep his word? Not on your life, Ed said. He said if we succeeded, he'd negotiated a peace treaty, Ed said. Humbug, Bill said. Even if he offers us all the U6, universe number 6, we won't take it. We're going to fight and slaughter all those in our way. You're looking at the new Pops, Bells continued. A wry smile crept across his face. What if Luke, Jez bit her tongue. Loses? Luke said, his hand still on his chin. I won't. Lose, that is. I know you won't, buddy, but just in case, we'll advance on their force and wipe it out. You heard the colonel. We're ready, Bells said firmly. Yes, Luke, we've just about got the shield figured out. Once we do, we'll blitz 'em, Ad said. Well, what? Blitz 'em. It's a word my son came up with, Ad said proudly. Whatever. They're toast, Bells said. He again slammed his fist down, but this time he hit the thick glass boardroom table. A small crack formed and quickly extended to the table's center. That colonel, what's his name? Luke asked, staring at the ever-expanding crack in the spectacularly beautiful table. Saul, Ed said. Yeah, what's he, a 4? Yeah, Ed answered. Notice he's not on our level, so we can easily control him just by a little intimidation. So, Ed said. So, both Bells and Jesse got down on their level, Luke said. Whose level? Jez asked. Adam and Eve's level. They're ones. That's a brain power of 1. Won't work. You were in effect ones yourself. Neither of you had more than a 50-50 chance to win. So, Knapp quizzed his buddy. So I've got to get above their level. I've got to more than arouse their sex drive. We have to arouse something completely new to them and their experience. We've got to arouse their curiosity. And how, my good man, do you propose to do that? Knapp said, standing with one hand on his right hip and the other tucked inside his left wing. Luke will figure it out. You just worry about getting battle ready, Bell said. Up on Orion, Pop stared out over the landscape. How's the fortress? Are the preparations complete? I think so, Pop, Junior said with less conviction in his voice than Pop's in spirit had hoped. The three kept on strolling leisurely through the garden. When will you get everything buttoned up? Well, honey, things are coming to a head. I know, Mom. Gabe and the others, we're all working as hard as we can. Keep at it, son. The universe is depending on you. We have to follow all your rules. Why not just take them out? One super nuke and they're gone. No more trouble. Everything must be equal. That is the only fair way, Spirit said. But someday you'll understand it. They all deserve extinction. They betray their own father. Right, am I right? Junior slammed his left fist into his right palm. He was a lefty. He hit so hard he had to shake his right hand. Son, let me clarify one thing for you. No one deserves to die. The only way one can die is to choose to die. Pops bit his lip, realizing, as of that moment in 3998 BC, he alone knew what choosing to die meant. He had regretted every second of his existence since the line in the sand was drawn by his son 10 years ago. "Hi, Eve, darling. How are you?" Spirit said in her musical voice. It was unlike any other in the universe. She kissed Eve on the cheek and hugged her. The two had become very close and had talked at length, in particular about the events of the past 2 weeks. Belle's and Jessie's forays into the garden left myriads of questions in Eve's mind. Those two forays had created a rift between the two newlyweds, now married 6 years. They continued to talk and sleep together, but things were somehow different. Making love had somehow just become sex. Since their creation 6 years earlier, often at least one of the three would eat the evening meal with a happy couple every day. "You two go on ahead. Eve and I have a little catching up to do." "Okay, Mom. We'll find Adam and see you in a bit." "How are you?" "So, Eve said, flipping her own hand back and forth. Spirit took her hand and sat down on a moss-covered stone bench that Adam had built. "It's just not right. He's so cold. I told him I didn't do anything with that guy, and I didn't, but I don't think he believes me. He just doesn't." Waves of tears filled her mint-green eyes, and she commenced sobbing uncontrollably. Spirit just held her. She had explained over and over to Eve that Adam did love her. If he didn't, he wouldn't have become upset in the first place. But Eve had not been convinced, and now, along with Eve, the wife of the ruler of the universe could not come up with even one little word to comfort her.